All right. Oh, just a quick one today. Ran out of time this week to do a proper, formal video, but I had an interesting experience this week in helping others. I don't expect too many people will hop on this, but I'll just rip this out and move on. Right. I found it very interesting when I was exploring the reasons why someone that I know had a very difficult situation going on in their life, and the immediate response for most people is to hop into solution mode. But there's this thing called data and feedback, and you could listen to people when they're talking as they give you an explanation as to what's happening. One of the Without putting too fine a point on it, one of the things I've liked to do over the years to get better at it is to listen and understand what are they trying to say and what is the real problem. To do that, you have to allow them to go deep enough to explain and explore the problem to you and to give you some kind of understanding as to what that might be. They have to tell you in their own words another word. So you don't necessarily want to become a default therapist for someone because you're probably not qualified to do that. But one of the things you can do is when they start saying, well, I have this problem with my boss, for example. Okay, tell me about that. And then they'll begin to tell you the story. What you want to do is dig a little deeper and try and understand, why do you have that problem with your boss, without saying why, because that's like an annoying little 2-year-old that will say why. You're not trying to get to the heart of it that way. You're trying to understand what's the deep issue here so that you can reflect it back to them in due course, or have them reflect it to you so that they can understand it. Being a good listener means taking in what they're saying, at the same time trying to gently push them a little bit further to give you the deeper meaning or what you think the problem is. So, for example, yesterday I was struck on Quora how many people have searched for online sales. It was quite shocking. It was heaps and heaps of articles have been written on, over 500,000. And I thought, this is an issue that a lot of business people obviously struggle with, how to get online sales. So when you dig a little deeper into the comments, you see that the majority of people don't have a strategy that they can fall back on and use to get online sales. They don't have a strategy. And because they don't have a strategy, they don't understand how they can use the internet to raise their revenue and get more money. The other thing they don't understand are the core pillars that are there and how they could use those pillars effectively. So they get frustrated, but they really don't want sales as such. They want more money. Why do they want more money? Status, the Lamborghini, stress and pressure, maybe predictability and control. Maybe they see the internet as a mechanism to try and control and be able to meaningfully predict their income. Maybe they see it as a new channel to get sales. Maybe they see it as something that could be used more effectively to drive revenue and reduce that stress they feel every time their wife or their husband or their partner is nagging them about where's the money for the mortgage payment. Maybe they've got creditors, like someone I know had creditors once. I'm sure you've heard of it. And the stress and pressure that they went through. There's nothing worse than money pressure. Maybe it's the desire to be accepted by a group of society that they find meaningful. The problem isn't more sales, is my point. The problem is there's some underlying desire there, or some underlying subconscious meaning, some underlying meaning that they're trying to find in their daily lives that gives them the opportunity to look at sales as the way out or the channel out. Never, ever, ever accept on face value what people tell you is the problem when it's a complicated issue like that. Dig a little deeper, ask a few questions so that you can build a complete picture. If we said, and I've seen this I'm in my office today, I've seen this here at the university, sometimes people leave and they leave in a quite angry way. And when you find out, it's because some personal desire of theirs wasn't fulfilled. They didn't get promoted. Maybe they never got the recognition they were looking for. They didn't get the status they were looking for. Or maybe they realized, like a lot of us realize, that the money in the university sector isn't as great as in the corporate world sometimes, and so they're chasing the dollar. Whatever the reason is, they didn't leave here because they got fired. They left here because of other reasons. On the surface, it might be because they got a better opportunity, but they're chasing something personally. Or in the case of them losing their jobs, there's other reasons. Some people leave here and there's rumors about why they left, but we all know deep down there were problems, and those problems were never rectified. So don't be one of those people. Dig a little deeper, ask people more meaningful questions. And as you're going through and trying to explore and explain these things with people, ask them things that perhaps they wouldn't ask themselves normally, and help them to try and reflect so that they can learn and think their way out of the situation, perhaps look at different solutions. I know for me personally, when I was having trouble getting publications, I never thought of networking, which is really stupid now that I look back and think about it, but I never thought of talking to people who had got those publications before and just sitting with them and asking them, how did you do it? What was the steps you went through? And how did you have to meet someone? You know, those kinds of things. And, you know, there are some things that you pick up along the way, but I got that through listening. So anyway, just a quick one today. Remember to listen and not judge, and to think about what people are saying when they're speaking, and try and get to the deeper meaning of what is the cause of this problem? What are the conditions that created this problem to exist in the first place? What's the context? What's the hidden meaning, if there is one? All right. Okay. Have a good afternoon, day or morning, wherever you are, and thanks for listening.